right, everybody, welcome back to Uncommon Nonsense with Collin Payne. We're gonna get a little funky. We're gonna hang out. I got something fun I thought that we could do. So I don't know, for the sake of your knowledge. I recorded the previous two episodes last night, and then I'm recording this one the next day. And they'll be kind of posted weeks in advance. I'm kind of trying to stockpile a couple episodes. Which I feel like most podcasts do that, right? I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But I just feel like it would, be beneficial to have them on the back burner so that I can upload them and get them edited and get more on a schedule is my overall plan. But essentially, I, not to try not to date this episode, but we just entered into 2023. And I thought, I was thinking about what to do for this episode. I thought about doing like a recap of things that have happened, right? Like, because I feel like some pretty major things happened in 2022. But when I looked up like, lists of major events that happened in 2022, it was a lot of like war. I mean, because the whole, I don't know. I don't want to get necessarily into all that, but it was just a lot of like really horrible shit. So I felt like instead, we could look to something new that happened, and so what we're gonna do today is we're gonna go on to ClickHole. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of ClickHole. I'm sure you have if you've been on the internet at all. It's essentially a satirical take on like your BuzzFeed or like any of your major, web kind of news outlet things. The whole kind of point is just goofy articles and wacky titles and stuff. Like, for instance, I'm just kind of on the homepage here, and one of them says, your church's Christmas pageant has a scene where Jesus shaves his legs. 18 signs your priest is being sponsored by Gillette. That's, like, it's stuff like that. It's pretty good. Awesome. Kraft is introducing new Frank Sinatra-shaped mac and cheese for sheltered kids with really old parents. Again, pretty good. And a lot of it's kind of like, raunchy adult humor, which is, all fun and good. But the articles aren't, the point here. That's not what we're getting at. What I want to look at is what they recently added is quizzes. They like, we've all seen the horrible BuzzFeed quizzes, or like even on Facebook where it's like, oh, what's your personality? What were you in the 18th century? Click here to find out. And then you click on it and it gives you like a random, like, a lot of the BuzzFeed quizzes are like actual questions. You know what I mean? And a lot of these, like I looked through it earlier. I haven't picked out specific ones yet. I figured we would kind of do it on the fly. Like we'll fucking do it live, But they're off the rails, and I'm pretty excited to kind of get into it. So I figured that we would just kind of scroll through, pick a couple of them, and it'll help. Maybe it'll help you guys learn a little bit more about me. Maybe it'll help me learn a little bit more about me. Who knows? Who knows really what we'll find on this beautiful adventure? But I say we hop right into it and start looking at some quizzes. All right, so we got it pulled up here. Fair warning before we hop in. I just want to say I'm not sure how much of my mouse clicking I'll be able to take out in the magical editing process. It is fairly close to the microphone, so if it gets horribly annoying, I do apologize, but I feel like we'll be doing a good amount of clicking as we'll be answering questions and whatnot. So deal with it, I guess. Anyway, this one was on the homepage. It just looked kind of funny to me, so I thought, let's check this one out. Just following up on that creepy message I wrote in blood on your bathroom mirror, which I was hoping someone would follow up about that because I wanted, we'll keep the conversation going. I like my little pen pal, but hope you've been well. Just circling back to get your thoughts on that message I left in your bathroom mirror the other night, the one written in blood. If you have any availability today, I'd love to hear about your experience. Thanks in advance. Well, lucky for you, I do have some availability. There is plenty of things I could be doing right now, but I thought instead, I'd rather circle back to this blood message and we'll get some answers. All right, here we go. Question 1. Would you kindly confirm receipt of the bloody note I left on your mirror at 3 a.m. a few evenings ago? For your convenience, I'll relay it again here. I can't wait to wear your face, and that's in all caps. Option 1, we have yes, I received your creepy message, or no, I was not aware of your creepy message until now. I'm going to say yes. I definitely received that. I have distinct memory of that I can't wait to wear your face, which I mean, I guess I get, but would you say you were frightened by my message? I'm unsure. I'm on the fence about it. It says yes, no, or unsure, and I'm thinking I'm going to go for unsure here. Little, what was your reaction upon discovering my message? More specifically, did you scream? I just want to ensure this experience is as frightening as possible for you. So we have 1, I screamed. I gasped, but did not scream. I did not scream as I was mostly focused on using the toilet. That's a classic. Or I was already screaming about something else when I saw your message. I would say I definitely did a gasp. But it was I would say it was less about the wanting to wear my face and more about the amount of blood on my mirror that I knew I had to I now am responsible for cleaning. It just seems a little bit rude to make me, have to clean up after that. Is this the first time you've received a bloody message on your bathroom mirror? Yes. No, I have previously received one other bloody message on my bathroom mirror. No, I have previously received many other bloody messages on my bathroom mirror. I have previously received a message on my bathroom mirror written in feces, but not blood. Why is this reading like it's the point of it, is to be funny, but it's reading like like these responses are reading like when you're applying for a job and they give you those personality compatibility quizzes. You know what I mean? Like it, it's done a good job so far, but I'd say yeah, this is the first time I've received a bloody message on my bathroom mirror. When it comes to bloody bathroom mirror messages, it is important to strike the correct tone. Let me be clear. Which of the following words would you say best describes? Man, I'm struggling with this one too. The tone of the message you received. Ooh, okay. So we have threatening, unhinged, facetious, silly, muddled, professional, or sexual. Ooh, that number 7. We'll go. You know what? we'll see where this takes us. We're going down the rabbit hole. We'll go with sexual. I could feel the tension. It's like it was palpable. You could almost mold it like clay. Please indicate how strongly you agree or disagree. Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about with the aptitude. It's literally the exact thing. It says okay. We'll read the question, but please indicate how strongly you agree or disagree with the following statement. The bloody note on my bathroom mirror made me terrified about the prospect of my own impending death. We have somewhat agree, strongly agree, somewhat disagree, strongly disagree. I'd rather not say. This is the worst part of job, like the hiring process. Everyone that's applied for a job knows what I'm talking about. These kind of personality like tests, man. But, did it make me terrified about the prospect of my own impending death? I mean, they just said they want to wear my face. I don't think that it said that they wanted to kill me, right? I'd rather not say. I'd rather keep them on the fence about it. I want to, I want to establish a kind of dominance in this, whatever we got going on. I want to, keep them on the ropes. And please indicate how strongly you agree or disagree with the following statement. I am ready to die in a violent, gruesome fashion. Note, your response will have no influence on the matter and will be used for internal purposes only. That I'm not convinced there, that it'll have no influence. I just like with the job interviews, right? But, some would agree. Well, some would agree on that one. In the interest of transparency, it should be noted that the message on your mirror was written in dog blood, not human blood. How does this disclosure make you feel about the note? Yes, it makes the note less scary. Yes, it makes the note more scary. No, it does not affect my feelings towards the note one way or another. I don't know if it makes it more scary. It makes it more, I would just say aggravating, right? I don't know. We'll say yes. It makes the note more scary. Why not? We'll give them 1. They can have 1 as a treat. How about that? This was not included in my original message, but please know that there is no escaping me. Oh, okay. I appreciate the the it's like a little PS there, and I appreciate, the afterthought. It's nice to know, that there's things that you can rely on. There's people out there that you can trust. And this is somebody that I seems like I can rely on in this situation, that they will be here no matter what I do. Makes sense. Sounds good. Thanks for letting me know. I am disappointed to hear this. Please do not kill me. I'm not ready to die. I mean, that just seems like a coward's response. I will note this in my records. I'll take note of that. I understand, you understand. In terms of when I come to cut your face off, it is mine. I will wear it. Do any of the following times work for you? Number 1, tonight. Number 2, tonight. Number 3, tonight. Number 4, tonight. Number 5, tonight. And then number 6, tomorrow. No, it's tonight. We'll go with number 3. I'd say tonight works. Great. I think I have all the information I need now. However, I'm looping in my associate Joseph here. If after this conversation you still have any questions regarding the gory note, not the glory note. I don't know what a glory note is, but I left on your bathroom mirror, please reach out to Joseph and he'll give you any answers you need. It says, nice to meet you, Joseph. I'll be sure to reach out if I have any questions. Thank you, but I do not anticipate that I'll have any additional questions. I think I understand what's going on here. Let's be honest. I think I get it. I think I understand where they're going. So thank you, but I do not anticipate that I'll have any additional questions. I appreciate that Joseph is here for me. It's nice to have more people on, the scene, willing to do the work necessary to get this done and have the resources necessary to help me through it. But I don't feel as though I will be needing him. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you for your time. I'll touch base later tonight when the time comes for me to cut your face off. See you then. Thanks, see you then, or looking forward to it. We'll say thanks, see you then. I'm not certain that I'm looking forward to it, but I'll see him when he gets here, I guess. Alright, so this is all 12 questions completed. We did it, guys. So that's our first wonderful quiz. Thank you for your feedback. The information you provided will be used to ensure that your experience getting your face cut off is as terrifying as possible. Your death is imminent. Wow. That's great news, guys. Wow, wonderful. Alright, so that's pretty good. I'm looking forward to the whole experience. I'm glad that, I was chosen for this experience, and it's great. We'll look at some of these comments here. This one's from Steve. Please remember to use a lotion designed for the sensitive skin on my face. The regular kind makes my face get red and splotchy. Thanks much. That's good. It's nice that he was thoughtful enough to give that information. I'm sure that whoever's writing this, working with Joseph, wants, the best quality skin on the face, which, I don't blame him. But you want that information so you can keep up with the upkeep necessary, and that's just very thoughtful. Good on you, Steve. We could all be a little bit more like Steve. I think that we could all be a little... let's all take that to heart. We could all be a little bit more like Steve. Darian Jones says, okay, great. First of all, this is a horrible... I'm sorry, not to throw shade, but this is not a great way to spell Darian. And maybe I'm saying it wrong, but it's Derien. I've seen that spelled a couple different ways, and I don't feel like that's a very solid option. No offense, Darian Jones, or anybody that spells their name that way. But anyway, he says, okay, great. Although please note that I do have a loaded gun and I will not go down without a fight, with a winky face. Wow. I feel like he did say our death is imminent. I feel like the gun isn't going to help much, but to each their own. That read, sorry, not to break the illusion here, but that read kind of like a Facebook boomer meme to me, like you can break into my house, boy. I got a shotgun and I can't wait to use it, with the buckshot and the pew type of shit. But hey, to each their own. Good, more power to you, Darian. I hope that you have fun with that. But yeah, so that was pretty good. For the first quiz, I'd say that was pretty good. Let's find us another one. Just trying to find a good one here. I'm gonna have to cut a lot of this out. All right. So found another one here. This one's a little different. This has just one big question with a bunch of options here. It's a check all that apply, but it says which grievances do you wish to bring before the king? So our king is a great and generous king who cares dearly for each and every subject in his kingdom. For this reason, he has opened the doors of his castle on this day to hear the grievances of his people. Which grievances do you wish to bring before the king? So, right off the bat, this seems too good to be true, right? I mean, the great and generous king truly cares for each and every subject. It says, the king who cares dearly for each and every subject in his kingdom. Bullshit. I call bullshit already. But let's see what we got. Let's see what we can bring before this king. Hopefully by the end of this, I'm hoping that we overthrow him. That's all I'm saying. I'm taking a hard stance against this king. I don't like him already. I think that he's problematic. I think that there's a lot of... We'll get into it. So, we're gonna check off all the grievances that we wish to bring before his majesty. Ugh. Alright, so, my lord, every night while we sleep, a mischievous man sneaks onto our land and names all of our cows Henry. Please, my lord, he must be stopped. He names all of our cows Henry. Okay. I do like that one, but I don't really see that as an issue. I think that maybe the cows want to be named Henry. Have you ever thought about that? How is he naming not the kids, but how is he naming the cows Henry? Like, dude, is he giving them name tags? Is he branding them with the name Henry? I would need more information for this. 'Tis the skaters, my lord. They're out of control. This one, yeah, we'll check this one. The skaters, I will say from personal experience, skaters have always been out of control. Especially in this kingdom, they're really wrecking shop, big problem with the skaters. They need to hone it in. They need to reel it in. Someone needs to do something about those skaters. I want people on skater patrol, skater watch. My lord, I am so sorry to say that every day. Why did I say it like that? Every day, a dragon flies over my eldest son and drops a huge shit on top of him. Then I have to spend the whole day digging him out of the dragon shit instead of harvesting the crops. 'Tis a great hassle, my lord. That's great, because, you think about, like, in Skyrim when they're flying around, all the dragons are flying around and stuff. Like, they have to shit, right? They presumably eat. Are they shitting while they're flying? Are they landing to shit? Are they like cats where they shit in specific spots, like where they can bury it or something? I would love to. It seems in this universe they're establishing here, they shit while flying, like birds, and I think that's naturally makes sense. I mean, I don't have a problem with that. I think that we'll agree to that. I think that that's a grievance we should bring before the king. Maybe he should do something about the dragons. Not really a grievance, but I'm scared of dying, my lord. Just needed to admit that to somebody. I get that. I totally get that. But I probably shouldn't bring that in front of the king. I feel like he's just gonna get angry for wasting his time, and I feel like maybe that's not a good angle we want to take with this monarch, right? I mean, at least I don't, personally. Not really a grievance, but I'm scared. Oh, wait, I already read that one. Sorry. Back it up. My lord, nowhere in the kingdom has an... Okay, hang on. My lord, nowhere in the kingdom is there an arcade for adults where they can drink and have fun with coworkers at the end of the day. We're clicking that. That's a problem. You need, like, a Dave & Buster's. You need, like, I don't even know any other ones besides Dave & Buster's. Somewhere with some laser tag or something. Some arcade machines, skee ball. maybe even bowling. Who knows? I mean, listen. If you want this kingdom to prosper, all right, there needs to be opportunities to engage to engage in good-spirited camaraderie, as in arcade machines, as in laser tag. As I said, I already said these things, but you understand what I'm talking about. A bar where you can get a beer and then walk over and play, one of those like Terminator shooter games with the gun and stuff, and you aim it at the screen. Come on, man. I'm clicking that for sure. I'd click it twice if I could. All right. Witches, my lord. Just the idea of them. They're terrifying. I'm gonna click this one too. I get this. Witches. The idea of them, their big creepy noses. Don't like it very much. Their green faces. Their ability to cast curses on me and my loved ones. I think that nobody should be able to do that. And we should really, just like the skaters, this has been a problem for generations, is the witches. And it needs to be, we need to find a way to like reel them in. We need to find a way to gather them. 'Tis my neighbor, my lord. He has thrown several holiday parties this year, and I have not been invited to any of them. It just feels bad to be excluded, my lord. I'm going to click that one too. I get that. I totally relate to this on a spiritual level. It does feel bad to be excluded, especially around the holidays. It's Christmas, guy. Obviously, it's not Christmas when this is going up, at least not anymore. But like, we just came out of the holidays at the time of recording. Like, I totally get this. You want to see some friends on the holidays. You want to see the people that you care about, right? You want to really just be soaked into that Christmas magic of the festivities and of the holidays, right? And it doesn't have to be Christmas, obviously, whatever you celebrate. But all I'm saying is that it absolutely feels bad to be excluded, especially around the magical holiday season. So we'll bring this to the king. Maybe he can fix that, because that's a real issue. We'll try to get some more voices in here. I feel like there's a couple more. We're about halfway through the responses, and we'll try to get a little more goofy with it. My lord. There's no doctors. When we get hurt, nobody knows what to do. This feels like an infrastructural oversight, my lord. We're clicking this one too, because like I said, there's a lot of things that could be improved upon in this kingdom that we got here. So, like, this is a good point on why we should overthrow the king. That's all I'm saying. I mean, let's just think about it. Thank you, my lord, for hearing my humble request. You see, it is my friend's birthday, and he's a big fan of yours. He's too shy to ask, but I was wondering if you might be able to give him an autograph or something. He'd really appreciate it. Make it out to Dave. Okay, so what I'm picturing, right? Here's how I've kind of wrangled this whole situation in my head. We're at a committee, and we're taking grievances to bring before the Lord, and these people are coming up and giving their grievances to be added to the list or not, to be then taken by a representative in front of the king, right? Maybe I'm thinking too far into it. I don't give a shit. This is my podcast. I'll think too far into whatever the hell I want. But this one right here, all I have to say is fuck you, Dave. And I'm sticking to that. Now is not the time nor place. We're listing grievances. We're trying to solve problems here, Dave. We're not talking about your damn birthday. All right? I don't know what made you think that this was the appropriate time to be asking for autographs when we're solving issues, Dave. Selfish, entitled. Quite frankly, I'm sick of it. So that's what I have to say about that. You got a lot of shit to figure out, Dave. A lot of shit to figure out. Get those ducks in a row, buddy. Happy birthday. Anyway, we'll do this one. We'll do this one as Lois Griffin.
Peter, my lord, there's a parsley famine in the kingdom, Peter. We are forced to go without garnish, Peter. 'Tis torture, my lord.
I'm sorry, that was a horrible. That's a horrible situation to go without garnish. Come on, a parsley famine? That you're having food, bland food. We're talking British food with no seasoning. And again, sorry if you're British and listening to this. Maybe you could bring this grievance to your king. Now that the queen is gone, rest in peace. Rip the legend or whatever. But I would bring this one to your king because y'all's food looking bland as shit. That's all I'm saying. I stayed at someone's house once, and they were very English. Like they didn't have the accents or anything, but their just like whole heritage was very English, and they cooked a very English breakfast with like the beans for breakfast. Come on, you're gonna eat beans for breakfast? I don't vibe with that. That's something I can't look past. There's a lot of things in life I can accept as like you're doing you, and that's totally cool. But beans? Man, for breakfast? No. My lord, the blacksmith called me a nerd. Alright, yep, we're clicking that. Yeah, no, I vibe with this. The blacksmith would call me a nerd. I mean, he could build swords and shit. That's cool, that's useful. I vibe with that. These are some pretty good grievances so far. I mean, there's a couple like Dave who needs to get his shit together, but like these are pretty good. You see, my lord, this rainy weather. You know what? Hang on. We'll retake this. We'll do a different voice. You see, my lord. All right, no, this is horrible. You see, my. All right, there we go. All right. You see, my lord, this rainy weather we've been having is really got me down in the dumps. Down in the dumps. Wow, that's horrible. That's all, my lord. Wow. I really shouldn't be a voice actor, huh? I really shouldn't quit my day job to be a voice actor. But yeah, no, I mean, I get this. I see where you're coming from. Again, this rings is very British to me, because it constantly rains over there apparently. But no, I mean, what's he gonna do? Strike a deal with God? I mean, and plus, it's good for the crops and stuff, right? I mean, I'd rather have the rain, in my opinion. Who doesn't love curling up and going to sleep in a thunderstorm? Like, not in the thunder. I mean, obviously don't curl up outside in the rain. Unless that's your thing, unless you, in which case, more power to you. See, that's something I can overlook. But beans for breakfast, I will not. Either way, who doesn't love curling up and taking a nap or going to bed while it's raining cats and dogs outside? Come on, man. That's wonderful. That's glorious. So, we're not bringing this one. I can't do that. Sorry, guy. Can we get a dog, my lord? We promised we'd take good care of it. You wouldn't have to feed it or anything, my lord. Please. This is good. I'll take this one because I always find, right, and this is from firsthand experience, whenever you're a kid, you're a wee child in the streets of the kingdom, and you bring to your father, you're like, listen, can we please get a dog? I want a dog. Can we get a dog? They always are like, no, I don't want the dog. And if we get the dog, because they always concede at some point, right? I mean, I at least mine did. I don't know about everyone else's, experiences, but when they eventually concede, they say, when we get the dog, I don't want anything to do with the dog, right? Then, next thing you know, you get the dog. And the dog and the dad are inseparable. Best friends. Every time. Our dog was so attached to our father, it was ridiculous. And like, I don't know if it's like a instinct thing. I don't get what it is, but hey, man, maybe my dad's just really cool and dogs really vibe with that. I don't know, but it was hilarious to me. He wanted nothing to do with the dog, and the dog was obsessed with him, and he was obsessed with the dog. So it just goes to show you, some things they might seem like a horrible idea at first, but maybe it's a really, really cool dog. So we'll take that one. We'll take that one to the king. We'll see what he says about that one. Hopefully we get a cool little, like a dachshund or maybe something big, maybe like a golden retriever. That'd be kind of neat,
Monarchy is an impressive form of government, my lord. Perhaps consider something a bit more democratic.
This one, I like this one too. I vibe with this one. Like I said, I wanted to overthrow the king by the end of this, and I don't want it to come off too harsh. You know what I mean? I'm not talking like a hostile takeover. If we can start with like maybe nudging him towards, allowing a more democratic system, then we can slowly kind of start voting him out. And I'm sure there's a term for that, and I'm sure that that's considered foul play to some extent, but you gotta do what you gotta do, 'Tis my friend Harrison, my lord. Alright, well, alright. Alright, so we're almost done. We got 3 more of them. Let's see these last 3 grievances, and we'll take them before the king and see what happens, 'Tis my friend Harrison, my lord. He's always asking me to hang out with him. But it's like, I have other stuff to do, I mean, I'm not 20 anymore. I can't just kick back all the time. Can you relate, my lord? We'll take this one too, because we don't want to be all down and in the dumps with this. This is we've taken a lot of grievances, we've taken a lot of things into account, a lot of problems that need to be solved, but we also need to relate to our king, right? So that maybe that'll make him more willing to listen, right? At least that's how I see. If our king truly does care about each and every subject, maybe if we relate to him a little bit, break that wall, he'll be more opted to listen to maybe our last one where we push him towards something a little more democratic. Maybe, who knows? We'll find out, I guess, but we'll take this one. All right, so we got this one here. There's too much salt in my soup, my lord. I put too much salt in it. Now it's ruined. Stuff like this is always happening to me, my lord. Yeah, no. This is like Dave. You remind me of Dave. This is a very Dave thing to say and to bring, before me. I obviously, not being the king, but I can imagine how upset the king would be to hear this is a you problem. You even said I put too much salt in it. I'm not gonna deny that that's a shitty situation. You ruined your soup with the salt. You put too much salt. It's like the ketchup rule, right? If you put too much salt on it, you can try to wipe as much off as you can, but it's not going back, right? It's just like the ketchup. You put too much ketchup on, you can wipe it, but it's ruined at that point, right? That's a you issue, dude. The king can't do anything for you. And I don't want to invoke his wrath by bringing useless. We'll call this a Davism. This is a Davism. Fix that. Fix that yourself. How about that? Just going in on this guy and Dave. Maybe they don't deserve it, but I think they do. Personally, I think that they are. They're not taking this seriously. And then the last one here. No grievances, my lord. Just wanted to see the inside of the castle. It's nice. Wow. Again, I wouldn't say no grievances just because we've picked a whole list of them. If maybe I hadn't picked a single one, that would make sense. And maybe that gives you a good answer, but I picked out a whole list of them. I'd say that that's disingenuous to throw at the end. No grievances, by the way. That's like when you, that's like when someone asks for advice, which, by the way, if you want any advice, feel free to send it. You can send your inquiries to the official Gmail of the podcast. It's uncommonnonsensepod@gmail.com. If you're watching on YouTube, I'll throw it on the screen here. Look at it. It's like, I don't know, it's flashing or something. Who knows? Woo! But yeah, send them that way. And I want to do some audience advice segments. I think that would be pretty fun. But that's like when your friend asks for advice, right? And you give them, like your advice, and then you're like, I don't know though. Like that's just me. I don't know. So it's like if they take it, it's like you can't blame me for it, right? But it's like giving them a whole list of grievances and being like, no grievances, like no, that's just me though. I feel like that's we can't concede. We can't back down. We want to stay firm. We want to reach a good connection with our king, but we want to stay firm in what we want fixed. So here we go. We're going to bring these grievances before the king, and we'll see what he says. Oh, okay. All right. The king listened to your grievances. Congratulations. You brought your grievances to your king, before the king, and he listened to them all with an air of detached sympathy. Truly, he is a good and righteous monarch. Long live the king. What'd I tell you guys? What did I tell you? We did it. We did it. We brought what we wanted to before our luscious, beautiful, just sensual king, and he listened. He listened to us. And so now, maybe we'll see, probably not, but maybe we'll see some changes, And who knows? Maybe he'll love us a little bit more than he would have had we not brought those to his. I feel like our honesty just deepened our connection, right? And that's a beautiful thing. All right. Okay, we'll check this one out too, and we'll see how this one is. So this one says, do you know why you're grounded? And I will say, apparently, I was wrong. These quizzes are not anything, because this was added in 2018. So, oops. My bad. But this is the first I've heard of them. And they seem pretty okay. A lot of them are like the one I just read out, where it's like it's one kind of prompt with a lot of responses. But I was looking for one that had, more questions and this kind of layout, but we'll get into this one. So this says, do you know why you're grounded? And the picture here is a very stern looking woman who I'm presuming is our mother. And I hate when she looks at me like that. It says, hey, look at mommy. I know. All right. Hopefully this doesn't get put in a weird section of the internet, but hey, look at mommy. I know you're upset, but I need to make sure you understand why what you did was wrong, okay? All right, so we got question number 1. Do you know why mommy had to ground you today? And then we have ... or ... And I agree. I think, I plead the fifth on that one. She doesn't need to know. She's lucky I'm even here in the first place. All right. Number 2. You can sit there and pout all you want, but it won't make you any less grounded. So let me ask again. Do you know why you're grounded? So we have option 1 is another classic ... ellipses or whatever. Classic, really gets the point, sends the point home. And then we have a in brackets sniffles, which I get the sniffles often. I have a deviated septum, so I sniffle all the time. I'm gonna do it right now. Cut that out. But yeah, no, I mean, I think that it shows a little bit more humanness, but it might show weakness. I think that we should stick with the stoic ellipses. I think that we'll keep that the ... Just let her know what's up, Ethan Michael. Okay. So apparently our name is Ethan Michael. We have 2 first names. Or unless Michael is my middle name, that probably makes sense, but that's not a good combination for first and middle name. I'm being very harsh on names this episode. I feel like I'm being very harsh, but hey, this is my podcast, and I say Ethan Michael, bad name combination. And I'm sorry if your name is Ethan Michael. Ethan isn't a bad name, and Michael isn't a bad name, but the combination of those is not good. That's just my opinion, and you can tell me to eat shit in the comments if you want to. That is your right. But Ethan Michael, I'm talking to you. If you don't talk to me, I have no problem adding another week onto your punishment. Oh, God. And I don't think you want that. I don't want that. So let me ask one more time. Do you know why you're grounded? All right. This is getting serious. If she's going to add another week, that's a lot. That's too much. I feel like, that's harsh. And I don't want to put up with that. A whole nother week? Come on. So we got option number 1 here. Because I misbehaved, classic. Or option number 2, because I was bad, ? Yeah, I think we know. I think we know in our hearts what we did. We misbehaved. It was wrong. We know that. But, I just, I think it's better that we own up to it. Maybe she'll be less upset. Number 4. Well, yes, but can you tell me specifically what you did was wrong? What you did that was wrong. I'm sorry. She wants to know what, and we have option 1. I was mean to grandma. Okay. Or option number 2. I hurt grandma's feelings. All right. So this feels good. This feels a little more. I would say we should go with I hurt grandma's feelings, and the reason is I feel like it's a little more. We're taking a little more responsibility, right? We're being a little more specific about what we did. We're not being very specific, but we are being more specific than just saying I was mean to grandma. So we'll go with that one. I hurt grandma's feelings. Sorry, grandma. It had to be done. To make an omelet, you gotta break a few eggs, and you're looking pretty yolky. You know what I'm saying? You're looking pretty yolky. Okay. Alright, thank you. Okay. Alright, yeah. Alright, okay. Alright, so number 5 here, it says, how so? Oh, she wants specific. She wants us to really get into it. We have option 1 is I, ... I, the classic, you get a little stuttery with it. And then the stoic, tried and true, number 2, ellipses, the classic ... which I think we'll hit her with a ... again. I think she's prying too hard. We gave a little. I think she needs to give a little, This is both of us, okay? Number 6. Don't pretend like you don't know. You ripped grandma's arm off, didn't you? Okay. Wow. Yikes, that took a turn. Okay. The option is number 1 is yes, ma'am. Or number 2, again, that's very respectful. That's very, showing some respect there. And number 2 is nods head solemnly. Yeah, youch. I don't know what the fuck that was, but we'll hit her with a yes, ma'am. We did it. I ripped that old bitch's arm right off, I guess. Number 7, say it out loud for me. Or, nope, I'm sorry, I read it wrong. I'm sorry, let me go back. Say it out loud for mommy. Say, I ripped grandma's arm off. So we have the number 1 here is I ripped grandma's arm off, or number 2, mumbling, I ripped grandma's arm off. So, she wants the verbal admission, which is the first step. The first step to solving a problem is admitting that there is a problem. Let's be honest. And I think that it's a very strong thing to do. But we will mumble it. I think that mumbling it is the way to go. I think that's I don't want to say it too proud. I don't want to make it seem like it's something I'm proud of. It's not. I did it. Sure. I did it. Would I do it again? If I fucking had to. If I had to, Grandma. But, I'm trying to get out of getting grounded here. Okay? She can't keep my PlayStation away from me anymore. It's tearing me apart. Alright, number 8. That's right. You ripped Grandma's arm off. And then what did you do? Alright, let's see what I did here. It says, I took Grandma's arm, ... sniffles. Just make sure you get that little in there. And I. So, you get the beginning here. You took grandma's arm that you just ripped off. I'm imagining grandma now looking like the Wampa after Luke cuts its arm off. She's just kind of sitting there, like reaching where the arm was and making these weird noises. But option 2 here, it says I spanked her, and then we have more of the. So, wow, I think we'll cut right to it. I spanked her with it. I took that arm off. Listen, the whole problem, grandma thinks that she can say whatever she wants and that there's no repercussions, and I don't vibe with that. I think that she needs to have, some solid backlash. You can dish it out, you can take it, So, we'll get into number 9 here. About halfway through this one. You blow your nose, sweetie. Oh, thank you, Mom. That's very caring. You took grandma's arm and spanked her with it, didn't you? Okay, this one's getting me a little bit. You spanked her while yelling, stop spanking yourself, stop spanking yourself. And then you climbed up on grandma's chair, pulled down your pants, and tooted. God damn it. The wording is what's getting, because it does sound like a mom berating a child, right? But this is a real goblin of a child, I guess. We are. I am. I guess we are, but it's mostly me. I'll take blame. I could do better, but I don't want to. You climbed on grandma's chair, pulled down your pants, and tooted in her face, causing grandma to throw up all over her nice new blouse. Oh, do you think grandma liked that? This is, she wants us to think, put ourselves in the mindset of our grandmother. We just had our arm ripped off, and our goblin grandchild ripped our arm off, spanked us with it while doing the classic, stop hitting yourself. Very childish again, just very disrespectful. And then climbed up on a chair, pulled down his pants. I'm not sure how far down. Was it just the ass out, or did they do what all kids do and pull them straight to their ankles? And then tooted in her face. Was it a big one? Was it a But our option is number 1, no. No, she did not like that. And then number 2 was blows nose sloppily. And I'll do the sniffles, but I won't reenact that one for you because yikes. I'll hit her with a no. I don't think grandma liked that very much. Number 10. And do you think grandma liked it when you ran out to the cul-de-sac and screamed, I snatched some nasty old orangutan's paw, so loud that all the neighbor kids came outside to see what the commotion was? And then, when all the neighbor kids took turns hoisting grandma's arm above their heads like the Stanley Cup, belting, we are the champions at the top of their lungs, do you think grandma liked that? I mean, honestly, sounds kind of cool. I mean, like, it sounds like it was me. It sounds like I took that chance to unite all the kids of the cul-de-sac. Sort of like your Ed, and Eddie style. All the different kids, they're all united under the the nasty old orangutan's paw that I snatched. And that's a beautiful thing. So I'm going to hit her with an I don't know. I think I'm giving her a little too much here again. So I don't know. I don't know if she liked that. I would have. I know that, a lot of bad things happen, but maybe she could have appreciated the beauty of what I created with the bad things. And that's all. That's what, life isn't about avoiding the storm or whatever. It's about learning how to dance in the rain. Okay? So maybe she could have danced in the rain a little bit and saw the beauty in what I had done with her nasty orangutan paw, alright? Fuck. Oh. Okay. Alright, number 11. That made Grandma very, very sad. Alright, well, obviously she didn't see the light, silver lining. She threw up again when she saw you doing that. And you know what else made Grandma sad? She threw up again? She's got a lot of throw up. She must have ate a lot. More power to you, Grandma. If you're hungry, you get at it. But that's a lot of throw up. I'm gonna hit her with a ... We have a ... and we have what? Question mark. And I'm gonna hit her with the ... again. I don't, What else? What else could have possibly made grandma upset? I don't I don't get it. This is all I don't understand what the reasoning behind my grounding is, because I understand that what I did was wrong, but can you blame me? It was for goofs and gaffs, for giggles. I was trying to bring some light into the darkness of what we have going on. We just, I think that, can you blame a little guy for being a silly little goose and going goblin mode? And that's my buzzword tick for the day. Thank you. I think I hit them all. It says, Ethan, don't act like you don't know. Okay. All right. She's getting angry. Number 1 is, when I cooked her arm in the microwave for so long that it popped. Or number 2 is ... the microwave ... We'll hit her with the ... the microwave. She knows what happened in that microwave. She's got to clean it. I'm not doing it. Number 13. Yep, when you cooked her arm in the microwave for so long that it popped. It hurt Grandma's heart to see you do that, especially because you were wearing a little chef outfit she made you for Halloween. She worked very hard to make that for you. That's true. And honestly, that chef outfit slapped. That chef outfit was amazing. It looked great. It felt great. And that's a perspective I didn't think about. She worked very hard to make that for me. So we have option 1 is the tried and true ellipses, the ... And then we have number 2, which is O. A solemn O. And I'll hit her with the solid O. I think that I realize now a little bit of she did make that for me, and that outfit slaps. It pops. It drips. There's some more buzzwords for you. It's great. I mean, it really fits me great. It makes me feel confident and beautiful, and that's what it's all about, right? So, damn, I should have thought about that. All right, we got just a couple more. Seems like this is kind of, we're getting to the root of the problem. We're gonna figure this out with Mom. All right, number 14. To tell you the truth, sweetie, it wasn't even what you did to Grandma or her mom that made Mommy so mad. Everyone makes mistakes. What really made Mommy mad was the fact that you lied to me and told me that Grandma ripped off her own arm because she wanted to mail it to Grandpa in hell so he'd have something to hold hands with. You lied to me because you thought it would get you out of trouble, but instead it did the opposite. It got you in even more trouble. And now you can't play your Nintendo Switch for a whole week. Okay, so it was the Switch and not the PlayStation. I did retro. I said, she took my play. It's the Switch. Sorry. Either way, if I can take a step out of the narrative for a moment, this is a real thing. Like, not the ripping your grandma's arm off and everything, but as like a parent that's just kind of like a new parent, dealing with kids, it's them lying to you, right? Like when they do something that they know is like wrong or like messed up, if they would just tell you about it, you know what I mean? Instead of trying to concoct a lie, because you can tell when a kid's lying. And when they try to concoct a lie, it's just more upsetting. It's like, I wish you'd just tell me about it. But I get, I was there. I get, not wanting to be in trouble. But anyway, back into, we were in the perspective of we did this, and she has our Switch, which is messed up. I'm trying to play the, whatever they play on the Switch now. I don't know. The multiverses with Shaggy. I'm trying to play that on the Switch. I think that's on there. I'm trying to play that. Give me my Switch back. But we have option 1 is fights back tears. And option 2 is sobs openly. Now this is big. This is big. This is epic. No, but this is a big turn here because we need to decide, are we going to fight back the emotions, or are we going to open up and allow ourselves to be vulnerable and sob openly? Because at the end of the day, no matter what, this is something that we are responsible for. And at the end of the day, I want my fucking Switch back. So I'm going to sob openly and make it seem like I'm remorseful, even though pretty sure, I don't know, I just think that raggy bitch deserved it. Number 15. Come here, sweetie. Give Mommy a hug. Even though Mommy... Oh, I'm sorry. Let me try that again. Come here, sweetie. Give Mommy a hug. Even though Mommy's mad at you. I still love you very, very much, okay? But it's important that you tell mommy the truth from now on. So we have, that's important, I guess. I guess. Gosh. And we have option 1 is okay. And option 2 is nods affirmatively, still sobbing. So this is big. Again, how are we going to continue? Maybe the more we sob, the sadder she'll feel for us. And we'll get a little more sympathy. So we'll knock that box. I think that we'll nod affirmatively, but we'll still sob. We'll still keep it going. The waterworks. Number 16. And promise me that you'll try to be better about not dismembering grandma in the future, okay? This is hard. She wants us to promise to be better about not dismembering grandma? Can I make such a promise? You know what I mean? Can I sacrifice for the trade-off of lowering my grounding time and getting back to multiverses and beating people's asses Shaggy as quick as possible? Can I make that trade-off? We're gonna nod. It says here. I'll give you the options. It says option 1, I promise, or option 2, nods affirmatively, still sobbing. So it seems that we're backed on the corner, but I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say those words. I'll let her take the nod, and that's all she gets. And then number 17, this is the last one here. It says, "That's my big boy. I love you." God damn it. If that did that for you, more power to you. But we have option 1 is I love you too, or option 2, love you, mommy. Yeah, that's a little passive aggressive. That second one, love you, mommy. Mommy. I would say we'll hit her with option 1. I love you too. We want to end on that connection and let her know that we hit solid ground here today. We figured something out. So we'll, good work, everybody. This feels very therapeutic for me, but we'll get our results. All right. Wow. You understand why wow. You understand why you're grounded, but you're still upset about it. You realize now it was mean of you to rip your grandma's arm off, but it stinks that you have to be grounded for a week. It does stink. It does stink, and I'm upset about it. You're right. Your grandma barely even uses her arms anymore, right? Damn, dude. She mostly just sits there. Yeah. You wish you weren't grounded so you could play your Nintendo Switch. Your favorite Nintendo Switch game is Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Okay, alright. I said multiverses. I don't think that... I think that it's multiverses with Shaggy and like Batman and like Superman and like the Wile E. Coyote or something. It's Shaggy game, okay? It is fun. Shaggy game is fun. I don't know about Xenoblade Chronicles. Multiverses is fun, which is why I said it. You wish your mom would have just spanked you instead of taking your Nintendo Switch away. True. Facts. When is that not the case, right? I can't go a day without thinking, man, I wish I could have just gotten spanked instead of dealing with all this, Wow, that was a good one. I think that was a good, that was a kind of a trip down memory lane, really, reliving, getting really reamed out. That sounds wrong. Getting punished and questioned and for the wrongdoings of a child. Which it happens, but I will say, after all that, after the whole journey that we went on together, Grandma absolutely deserved that shit. I still would do it again. And, forget it. Forget that bitch. Take it, Grandma. I mean, I take the L. That's all I'm saying. All right, so here we'll kind of loop it around. We'll kind of end it off here. This one, it says, "How well do you know the 6 parts of a dog?" From Jump, if you remember, back in the beginning, if you can recall, if you can peer back into the depths of your mind, and in the beginning of this episode, we did the one about the blood on the mirror, and it was apparently dog blood. So maybe this is the dog that it came from. Who knows? Also, I will say, I feel like from Jump, there's more than 6 parts of a dog. I feel like I've said from Jump a lot this episode, but, hey, we're doing it live. We're doing it. Live studio audience. Excellent. Excellent. Thank you. Okay. All right. There are 6 scientific parts of the dogs. How well do you know them? Take the quiz to find out. Let's do it. I'm confident about this. I know about the dogs. I've had dogs. I've had cats. I've had a lizard. But I know about dogs. You know. Let's begin with the basics. So this is number 1 here. What is this part of the dog called? Here's a hint. Of the 6 parts of a dog, it's the part that is used the most during the dog's feeding process. So we have a diagram of a dog, a beautiful, artist rendition of a dog with an arrow kind of pointing towards its mouth. So we'll see what we got. If I had to guess, I'd say it's the snout. The part of the dog used for chewing, breathing, sneezing, throwing up, and biting villains. I like that. This is a dog about justice, he's got a vendetta, this dog. This whole big face tube would of course be the gums. The part of the dog that stores teeth, swallows teeth, and glows with a pale ghostly green light when it's time for the dog to find more teeth. Wow. Wow, that's a solid answer too. I like that one a lot. Damn, that made me feel something. That was powerful. That was almost a guttural response to that one. Pretty sure that's called the valve. The valve is where the dog's brain is, and when the dog senses danger, it can open its valve and make its brain fall out onto the ground. The valve should be checked and inspected semi-annually by a professional. Wow. Yeah, I mean, I know that there's a lot of animals that have the defense mechanisms like that, and this is a very interesting one that you don't see very often. But it does happen, and I think that it's worth pointing out, but I don't think that the arrow is referencing exactly the valve. I think that's up a little more, towards the actual head. Like this arrow is pointing directly towards the snoot, I would say. The snoot that you would hypothetically boop for all of you, Pupper RAR XD fans out there, But I am certain that the answer here is the main hole. Nice. The part of the dog where the dog's eggs are stored. When the dog would like to have a human child, it opens the main hole and squirts an egg onto the ground. This enables either a human girl or a human boy to hatch from the egg, climb onto the dog's back, and ride the dog off a cliff, killing both of them. If you do not know something as basic as the main hole, you should not be allowed anywhere near a dog. And here we are. I think that we hit it. This is a perfect explanation of what the dog's mouth is used for. I will say the number 1 was good. It's used for chewing, breathing, sneezing, throwing up, and biting villains, but they left out the main use for the main hole, which is squirting eggs onto the ground that allow a human girl or human boy to hatch from the egg and climb onto the dog's back. I think that's, not a lot of people talk about what really the main use of a dog is. It's a lot about friendship, but it's mostly about those eggs. And the friendlier you are with the dog, the better the eggs will be. That's kind of the main takeaway here. So, question 2. We got a diagram. This is seems to be an older dog kind of lying down. He looks very comfortable. And these are just line drawings, so they're not like super detailed, but they did a pretty good job. It looks like a good little dog. I'd pet that dog. There's not a lot of dogs I wouldn't pet, But number 2 is many dog owners observe that their dog may quiver, shake, or even bark while having a vivid dream. Which of the 6 parts of the dog is responsible for creating dreams? Alright, this is rudimentary. We'll see what, we'll see what they got as far as options here. But again, just like the main hole, I feel like if you don't know this already, you got other issues to worry about before you should be worrying about the dogs, So, shot in the dark here, but I think that would be the insanity sac with a C, no K. It is located deep in the dog's skull, and every time the dog closes its eyes, the insanity sac creates images of the dog's brain of the dog being milked incorrectly by a farmer with no mouth. Again, just a guess, so don't hold me to it. Yeah, okay. I've heard this theory before. They say that the dreams can be different for each dog, but a lot of them have, the being milked incorrectly by a farmer with no mouth, even the male ones. And that's something that is excruciating for them to go through. My guess here is the attraction crown. Dogs are the only animal that are sexually attracted to every other species of animal, so whenever they move while asleep, it's an indication that they've been having a dream about seeing a naked bear or duck, which makes them do a small sleeping dance of sexual joy. Yeah, that's, you know, again, a lot of dogs, horny creatures. But I don't know about this one as much. I think that they could be dreaming about myriads of animals, not just a naked bear or duck. It could be a camel, it could be a giraffe, a koala. I'm just listing animals at this point, but it could be anything. I remember hearing somewhere that dog dreams come from neurons firing off in the ignition wires, which are located inside the central primary part of the dog. That's a lot of the newer dog models. They have that, but a lot of the older ones, the ignition wires are they're kind of located more towards the hind legs, which is weird. It made it more difficult to do repairs on them, but they were built of a sturdier kind of material back in the day, so it was you didn't need to get to them as much. But in the newer kind of models of dog, they've kind of downgraded a little bit what they use in the ignition wires, and so they need more repair more often. So in the newer models, yes, the ignition wires are located in the central or the primary part of the dog. But back in the day, no pun intended, they were in the what's called the back, the kind of back quarter or the hind part of the dog. So that could be a trick answer here. We need to keep that in mind. All right, we got our last option here. It is obvious that the acid bog is where dreams come from. Located directly underneath the pink underpart of the dog, the acid bog is the part of the dog that allows it to experience thoughts about salmon. Okay. Dogs hate salmon because they think salmon looks too much like dogs and is trying to steal their thunder. I get that. When a dog shakes while sleeping, it is out of rage as it thinks about salmon, which it considers to be the imposter dog. This is a very simple question. Again, this is a very simple question, and you have to keep in mind the dogs, they're all about instinct, right? They're all about instinct and laying human eggs, but majorly about instinct. And it is their instinct to have this burning hatred for salmon. It's nature, it's life. So we'll give that last one a go. It's definitely something that's not talked about a lot. Just kind of like the whole difference with the ignition wires. And, I just think that we should study more into the acid bog. We don't know a whole lot about it, but it's an interesting subject, and it's, I think that the acid bog on its own is a topic that could be, worth its own episode. But we got question number 3 here. Identify this dog part. Hint, it is one of the 6 parts of a dog. Very useful hint. I'm glad that they gave me that because I was tripped up for a second there. We have another outline here of a dog, and it's pointing at its the bottom of its back legs. You know what I mean? Like right where the paw is, just a little bit above that. With this big arrow here. And it says, this might be dumb, but I think it's the ground penis. Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't read any of these before. I didn't read this before. And wow, that caught me off guard. All right. This might be dumb, but I think it's the ground penis. The ground penis is very similar to the dog's sexual penis. Oh, God. But the ground penis is used for stability and balance instead of sexual intercourse and swatting away dragonflies. Okay. So does that sentence implies that the sexual penis is used for sexual intercourse and swatting away dragonflies, right? Because it says, but the ground penis is used for stability and balance instead of for sexual intercourse and swatting away dragonflies. I like that implication that they threw on there. I think it's called the horse's similarity. Horses have a thing on them that's similar to this thing on a dog, and that's the only similarity that dogs have with horses. This is a common misconception. Though the similarities are very little, dogs and horses both kill 3 to 70 children a year. It's a very big gap, but they both are responsible for mauling children. Dogs and horses. Horses actually do it more often, surprisingly, but Keep your kids safe around horses, because that's all I'm saying. My guess is going to be the combustion hose. It's responsible for transferring heat, has short black claws at the bottom, and should never be tinkered with. See, this is a good option. They're giving you a lot of leeway with the parts here. Like the combustion hose. They do call it that, but there's also other names for it. I've heard exhaust pipe be used before, and all kinds of different monikers. But it depends on where this kind of quiz and when this quiz was made. But it is plain to see that this part of the dog is known as the mondo nipples. This is where they, which are always massive and strange, because every dog is always pregnant and not fun to look at. I am growing frustrated with how easy this quiz is. I think on this one, it's the combustion hose. I think that they nailed it right on the head here. Again, there's other monikers, but most commonly I've seen it be called the combustion hose, and in the manuals it's typically in the combustion hose. Like, that's kind of the what it's labeled as. So we'll go with that one, and we'll see. We're about halfway through this one here. Number 4, identify this dog part, and it's hint, it can be found upon a dog. Again, great hints here. It seems almost like they're helping me out too much, but you have the dog, diagram, and it says it's got the arrow. It's pointing right towards what I called the rear quarter, but kind of like the hind part of the dog, where they really enjoy being scratched. Like right on the butt area. And it says, I feel like I remember this one being the bad palm. It is similar to the human palm, but it cannot cup or anything. So everything you put in it immediately falls out. It's essentially useless for the dog. All right. Good interpretation. Solid thesis here. This one says, I'm almost certain that this one is called the saddle. It is a part of the dog that functions solely as a place to put tools, ropes, and smaller dogs that you want transported. Yeah, see, this is what we, like, around where I'm from, would typically call this area. It's very, it's very useful. It serves the utilitarian purpose of the dog. Sometimes you need the dog to carry shit, and I vibe with that. Sometimes the dog has to carry shit. The other one says headrest. Again, solid for when you need to take a nap and you got your dog there. You're just like, hey, you sit here. I'm tired now. Now is when I'm tired. You deactivate. I lay my head on you. You move when I say you can move, type of thing. That's what I find is most effective. Or if you can say it in like another language, like German, and be like, 9. Like everyone knows that one, but like any kind of other language, I find it kind of asserts more dominance. You just tell that dog to turn the fuck off. But then it says, I have never been more confident than I am in declaring that this one is the one big gill which dogs use to inhale, exhale, and cough all at the same time. See, this is actually a misconception. They actually cough through weird slits on their penis. I didn't want to be the one to have to tell you that, but they have weird slits located right around that area, and that's how they cough. When you normally see a dog cough, it's not a real cough. It's like or like the sneezes. They do those fake sneezes. Then when they actually cough, it's exerting air through the dick. Sorry. Number 5. While it slightly differs from dog to dog and breed to breed, all canines store the potential for massive amounts of energy. And which part of the dog is energy created and stored? Oh, by the way, sorry. For the last one I went with, I'm almost certain this is the saddle. That one I feel is correct. That's the saddle. But yeah, while it slightly differs from dog to dog and breed to breed, all canines store potential for massive amounts of energy, and which part of the dog is energy created and stored? Please don't hold me to this, but I think that the energy comes from the meats. Arby's, please don't sue me. Arby's, just calm down. We can talk this out, okay? Which are stored directly under the dog's hair. When the dog needs energy, it burns its meats. You don't want to burn your meats. Which sends energy all the way through the ground penises and try to muster up the energy to get the dog to walk upright, which it's always trying to do but can never quite get. That is an unfortunate circumstance for the dog. It can never quite get it. It's always just right. It's on the precipice. You know what I mean? It's so tantalizingly close. And the next one here is, I thought energy was created and stored in the dog's crusts, which are similar to human eyes, but far wetter and more gunked up. When dogs create energy, their eye area will become goopier than ever, and they love it. Okay, yeah, this immediately makes me think of those little white dogs that have the goopy, fucked up eyes. And I vibe with that. You know, they're in their own lane. They're chilling, they're doing their own thing with the goopy eyes, and they love it, I guess. I think their energy comes from the filter stored deep under the dog's hair, which turns off all of the dog's aggression and anger from not being allowed to go to the bathroom whenever it wants, into productive energy for running and chewing. Nice. Okay. The filter. It allows it to convert its anger. I've seen a lot of angry dogs though, you know, and they usually use that energy for running and chewing while they're angry. So it doesn't seem like it's converting. It just they seem to coexist to me. Of course, dogs store energy in their open clamps, which are located just under the dog's locked clamps, which are deep below the hair. It makes me upset to think someone getting this easy question incorrect. Yeah, I mean, again, this last one seems to be right on par, right? Everyone knows that the energy, they store the energy in the open clamps and they release it with the locked clamps. And if you can't understand simple dog, you know, information like this, what are you even doing on a quiz like this? You know what I mean? I just think that it's rudimentary and upsetting. Number 6. This is showing a dog with a big, I can't tell, I think it's pregnant. This is a large belly on this dog. I've seen a couple dogs like that were just fat, though, which more power to that dog, because he's living the life, but this seems to be pregnant. Number 6 is our last question here. Aww. And now at last we've reached the final question about the 6th part of the dog. Oh gosh, here it is, guys. Dogs can give birth to upwards of 10 puppies at once. Which part of the dog is responsible for reproduction and birthing? Alright, I thought that they would give me a hard one, but obviously they're ending with an easy one, and you know, I applaud them for that. I think that they took me for a loop. You know, they subverted my expectations. So it says, I think I remember reading that dogs are pregnant all the time and will occasionally squirt puppies into the world out of a part of the dog that is known as the gape. Oh my fucking god. The gape opens once a year, usually during the autumn solstice. While the gape is open, puppies can crawl out of the dog, but sometimes geese and raccoons can crawl in. If a raccoon, horrible creatures, or a goose, equally horrible creatures, crawls into the dog's gape, the dog must spend the year using enzymes to turn the geese and raccoons into puppies. Yeah. See, this is good. This is a good theory, and I enjoy this, but you can't turn something that evil as a raccoon or a goose into something as sweet and just and beautiful as a puppy. You can't do it. The transfer of energy and like it just won't work. It's not possible, bucko. Shelf that one. Not happening. Sorry. Anyway, scientists call this part of the dog responsible for birthing the big secret because nobody knows where it is. This is good. Buckling down to the truth of the matter, I believe. I believe we know what they do. They make the human eggs, and they spin them all over the ground or whatever. But we don't know where the more dogs come from. It's kind of crazy, right? Like squids, we don't know where squids come from. Or no, I'm sorry, not squids. We know where squids come from. I think we realistically we don't know where eels come from. We actually have no idea apparently, and maybe that was solved since the last time I looked into it. But we actually don't know where eels come from, and that's ridiculous, guys. Just like dogs, where do they come from? I believe that dogs produce life from the engine major, not to be confused with the engine minor, which is responsible for killing the dog immediately if it somehow manages to live to its 40th birthday, which is simply too old for a dog to ever be. I disagree with this fundamentally. I think if dogs lived to their 40th birthdays, the world would be a better place. You know, it'd be a lot of repair that you'd have to do on their rear quarters and stuff like that, and you know their combustion tubes or whatever we said earlier. But if you could keep up with it, you know, I think that it would be good to extend the life of the dog. But dogs are never created or destroyed. There's just enough dogs around that everyone can have one or two. Dogs don't give birth because there doesn't need to be any more of them. This quiz has been so easy that I'm mad that I even wasted my time with it. Damn. You know, this is simply not the case. I can see the confidence in the answer, but and I can see why they would say this, because we don't know where they come from, but we do know for a fact that they are interchanging. Dogs are dying and being replaced. We just don't know where the replacement dogs are actually coming from. So I'm going to hit this. Scientists call this part of the dog responsible for birthing the big secret, because it is a big secret. So we're going to get our results here. How much do we know about dogs? Wow. What the absolute fuck, dude? Oh my god. It says you know nothing about the 6 parts of the dog. What the absolute fuck? You've displayed a really off-base knowledge of the 6 parts of the dog, and your overconfidence and pompous attitude makes your terrible performance seem that much worse. What the hell, man? While it's definitely in your best interest to study up on the 6 parts of the dog, just so you're not running around and spewing inaccurate nonsense about it into the world, please don't feel like you need to circle back and take this quiz again. We could do without your whole deal. Damn. Wow, I really got told off there, huh? And to think, you know, I studied the 6 parts of the dog for years. For years. I was so confident. You know? Man. I guess that just goes to show you, you know, you think you know a dog. You think you know a dog. And you don't. You don't know nothing. But I really appreciate you guys tuning in. This one was kind of a long one. But I was just having fun with it. I figured we'd hit us even 4. But I appreciate you guys listening. If you want to keep up with the podcast or follow me personally, I'm on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. I don't really use Twitter all that much now because of the whole Elon thing. I'm kind of waiting for things to smooth over. But if you want to follow me there anyway, all those platforms, it's Uncommon Collin. That's at Uncommon, Collin. No spaces and no caps or anything. And you can find me there. But if you're watching this on YouTube, I appreciate it. The YouTube channel, we changed the name of the YouTube channel. It was Uncommon Nonsense Podcast, but I changed it and the little at bar or like handle thing. So the YouTube channel is Uncommon Collin, like everything else, and then the handle is at Uncommon Collin YT. So if you want to subscribe to the YouTube channel, I appreciate it. If you're listening on Spotify, I appreciate all of you, realistically. I would appreciate any kind of feedback you can give me, and if you want to send in your submissions for some advice or, you know, some confessions, anything you want to send me to the email, that's uncommonnonsensepod@gmail.com. You can send it over there and I'll read through it and we'll pick the best ones to go on the show. Yeah, also send me any movie recommendations. I would love to do some more episodes talking about movies and kind of doing like some movie review type of stuff. So if you have any recommendations for movies that you would like me to do, feel free to send them my way. Before we go, we will discuss today's common sense. We went through a lot of stuff, right? And my common sense for you is don't be a fucking Dave, okay? And if you're bringing some real quarrels that you have with your kingdom to your king, don't make it about you and your dumb birthday, all right? Don't be a fucking Dave, okay? You gotta use your time wisely. And you gotta make a good impression. And bringing up your fucking birthday to the king isn't gonna do that, Dave. It's not. Alright, so anyway, I know this one was a little bit more goofy than the other ones, but I had a good time. I hope you guys did as well. And I will see you next time for whatever kind of uncommon nonsense I got planned for you. So, take it easy. And so
Get real high and I scream at the top of my lungs, what's going on? And I said, hey, yeah, 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 yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah. I said, hey, what's going on?
All right, sorry.
That's the outro.
Thank you guys for watching.